Hello, what have we here?
You're wrong.
Damn! What the hell was that?
Game over, man. Game over.
You're wrong.
You finished?
Well, I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Greetings, boys and girls, lemurs and squirrels, and welcome to the Week in Geek for July the 15th in this foul year of our Lord 2026, a wholly owned subsidiary of Free Range Idiocy, wherein we present our midweek dose of geekery for you,
the people.
Sit back and relax as we scrape the best news we found off the bottom of the interweb shoe on this Week in Geek Wednesday and let you know exactly how we feel about it. I am your Uncle Todd, and with me, as always, is the lead editor and chief bottle washer of the Week in Geek. I give you the man they call Tim.
Greetings and salutations, my friend. How are you?
Pretty good for the shape, man. How about you?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. I'm getting ready for a work trip tomorrow morning. We're recording this Wednesday episode on a Sunday, and so I'm getting ready to head out of Chicago, head down to Dallas, and have
Deep
myself
in the heart of Texas.
Deep in the heart of Texas. That's right. So I'm doing well. I'm all set to go. My suitcase is packed. My work bag is packed. I'm there. I have really nothing else to do, which feels
So
weird.
basically, you're gonna be drinking until you get in the cab.
I am not. I'm going to be in control tonight. I'm going to have a couple drinks and cut it so I have a good night's sleep. I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning and catch a cab at 4:30, and off I go. So
we will see about that. We will see.
I know.
How is O'Hare at like 7 a.m., 6 a.m. on a Monday? I picture it as either like moderately okay or just mayhem and nothing in between.
So when I had that whole kerfluffle where my flight got canceled and I had to basically be on standby for another one, I did get there at 6, and it was pretty busy for 6 o'clock. I wouldn't call it a madhouse. It was just there were a lot of people in line for security, and I don't know, they didn't have a lot of lines open. So I don't know if it's better at 5 o'clock where maybe there's less people. I don't know.
Your flight wasn't the only one to get canceled the night before, so I imagine there's a bit.
That's
of
true.
up.
That's true. Yes. So basically, I'm. And honestly, I was thinking to myself, and it's funny the mental debate you have with yourself when sleep is on the line.
Yeah,
I'm thinking to myself, should I have the cab come at 5 and get that extra half an hour of sleep and get up at 4 and not 3:30? And then I keep thinking to myself, well, I run the risk if traffic's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have as much time to get through security, and security could be pretty bad because there's a lot of morning flights, of course, that go out on a Monday morning. So I ended up settling on the conservative route and, leaving here at 4:30. I usually get to O'Hare by 5. I'll have plenty of time to get through security. And I'd rather have too much time and wait than to be stressing about, will I actually make it there on time? So
now, are you one of those folks who can actually sleep on a plane?
Oh, you best believe it.
Oh, I hate you.
Once that plane starts going and it's like vibrating, I'm just like,
I don't know what it is. I have a tough time sleeping on a plane.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I wish I was one of those folks who could just because I've seen them and I've heard tell of them, but I've also seen it in action. Like people who literally get in their seat, fasten their seatbelt, they lean back and like before they've even like pushed from the gate, they are out and they don't wake up until like touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm like, I so wish that was my
superpower. Sit here
Forget
and claim
flying or invisibility. I don't want that superpower.
I'm not going to sit here and claim that I could sleep an entire flight. It just and that would depend, of course, on just did I get a good night's sleep the night before or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically I'm I'll sleep for a little bit. Like this is just a 2.5 hour flight, so I'll probably knowing how I feel, like there's a certain amount of lethargy you start to feel after you get over the high of getting through security and getting to your gate. And, I'm sure I'll have my, the patented Starbucks sandwich and my drink and everything. Cause you gotta start the day on a good foot, my friend. You got to start the day on the right foot.
And something besides a Starbucks sandwich, cause those look nasty.
Oh, the sandwiches are wonderful. They are, phenomenal. You don't know what you're missing, sir.
I know.
Just like with Malorts, you don't know what you're missing.
With your Malort.
How's your algorithm, by the way?
Oh, you son of a bitch. So I wonder, if you go to O'Hare tomorrow morning, will they have a place with like Malort Bloody Marys?
They might.
I think you ought to have one of those. And report back.
You think I should raise the pH in my stomach? Is that what you're saying? You get the acidity up there? Good Lord.
There's a warning. If you have ulcers, we are not liable for your stomach exploding when you reach altitude.
That's the crazy part about that night. You and I did not. I'm trying to think. Friday night when you came out in February, where did we eat? Did we eat together? We did eat together. Yes.
Friday night?
Yeah, Friday we took the train to Wheaton. Correct. Thought we did.
Yes.
Here's what I'm trying to remember. All I know is I didn't think I ate anything terribly acidic that night, and yet when I had that shot of Malorts the next morning, I had like heartburn like you would not believe. It was just, and I'm like, why? Like I didn't eat anything that would be, we went to.
I can't remember what we ate that night because I'm
barbecue. We did,
we went to Green Street Meats.
That's what it is. Yeah, we went to Green Street
because we did the Mexican place the night after.
That might have been what it was.
Yeah, the 3.5 pounds of meat that you had roaming around the pellet, and then the Malort on top of it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Malort does not go well with the barbecue. I'm just saying.
It actually reconstituted part of a pig in your stomach. Some sort of Frankensteinian
from the rooter to the tutor.
Yeah.
You got to coordinate.
Oh my gosh. So actually, before we dive into the Week in Geek, I have a question for you, sir. I have a question.
Do tell.
Because before we began taping, had a lovely dinner with the family, and then we walked down the street to a local ice cream shop, and there they had a question.
Okay.
And you voted according to which tip jar you filled. And I paid by card, so I didn't get to actually vote. But the question would be, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
One horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses. Oh, that's interesting. Here's my answer. Mm-hmm. I would have to go with the horse-sized duck, if only because you could go full-on AT-AT defense right there, throw some rope around those legs, knock the sun gun down, throw the headlock on, baby.
I think you're underestimating how small a horse is. Like, horses are big animals.
So
they are.
But you know what? As Lord Alfred Hayes would say, when they're down on the mat, they're all the same. Or maybe that was Gorilla. When they're laying down, they're all the same size.
True. So here's the thing. I went with the horse-sized duck myself.
Yeah.
And my wife said that she would go with the duck-sized horses. And
I can tell you why that's a bad idea, but go ahead.
Well, but then she's like, well, you didn't tell me that we were fighting them. I'm like, that's the whole point. Like, what do you think? They're going to come after you and cuddle you? It's like, no.
Isn't that the start of the question? Would you rather fight?
Exactly. But anyways, I'm like, yeah, you're like razzling these things. I want to be able to have it in front of me. I don't want to be swarmed.
That's the problem. You get
them in back of you, on the sides of you. You have no idea where they are. At least a horse-sized duck, you know where that sumbitch is.
I think that is the fallacy of the argument, is the thought, well, I can deal with 100 small things. Oh no, you can't, because when they get an advantage, then it starts then you're the one who hits the ground, and then they've got you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you pull the AT-AT maneuver on the horse-sized duck and knock it down, you throw a headlock on, you take the belt, you knock him in the head with it. You know what I mean? You throw some
rest. What are you talking about?
Well, this one over here, you grab it, you go wham,
I didn't realize you were just waltzing around with a
you never know.
World's heavyweight championship belt when you encounter a horse-sized duck. But I mean, fair enough. It's actually probably the most rational part of this entire premise. So
might get a ladder, climb to the top, and do the old Macho Man elbow drop onto the. See, it's all about getting the head. You got to hit the head, knock it out.
You would do a swanton, but then I realized like neither one of us are acrobatic enough to be pulling off a swanton. Like the elbow, yes. Swanton, that ain't happening.
No.
Yeah, I ain't doing the Jeff Hardy. I have too much here to jiggle right now. That would be
I'd mistime the Swanton and probably severely hurt my neck and cranial regions. So
you'd be Brock Lesnar doing that moonsault.
Oh God, jeez Louise.
Yeah, just thinking about it hurts. Yeah. All right, now we've answered that question, where do you want to go with this, sir?
Well, we'll stay within the realm of fighting because I have a question for you now, sir.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on the controversial? There was controversy last week. There was controversy.
Are you Sean Connery all of a sudden?
I am controversy.
It was a controversy, Moneypenny.
Last Monday night,
yes.
Cody Rhodes was taken out by Gunther, the Ring General, and could not challenge Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Championship. So that means the belt was in dispute, does it not?
I mean, it's always in dispute. I mean, that's why they're fighting over it. But I mean, that doesn't seem to, seems a bit of a misnomer to me. But whatever.
But I love how Adam Pearce was made to look like the ultimate schmuck of schmucks because he's running around trying to find a challenger and can't seem to find one. And he's in Chicago at the Allstate Arena with, last I checked, the guy on his roster was from Chicago. And Nick Aldis pops in and says, "Hey, I made one phone call. I got it all taken care of."
All he's missing was saying, "You boob."
Yes, basically. And we have one Charles Montgomery Punk making once again a unique and a punkish entrance with the Allstate Arena garage door, opening up
like a boss in a fight, like a 1v1 fight game.
Yeah,
just rolling up. And did you see some of the reactions? Like, there was actually good reactions when he was walking by. There was one guy who was like,
"Yeah." Well, and I think Johnny Gargano lifted his head up from his his 3 months long whatever he's doing there plank. It was just like, huh? But yes, Charles Montgomery Punk graced us with his presence and challenged Sami Zayn for the WWE Undisputed Championship. They put on a hell of a match. It was a great match. Just really, really enjoyed it. High action. Fans were into it.
Of course, the fans were into it. It's Chicago. Like, Punk could announce the day before an election he's going to run for mayor and he'd win in a landslide.
Maybe.
Chicago's favorite son.
He is. He is one of them. So. Yes, Charles Montgomery pulled it off. He hit a haluva kick into a go to sleep and I'm just kidding. Defeated Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship. Sir, I do have to ask a question of you.
Yes.
Am I getting that apology today or in a couple days or in a couple episodes? Because I called this. It is on the record. I said that CM Punk would come back. He would make good on that statement of you never know when a title
Brock Lesnar had taken
opportunity will drop from the sky. It did, and he is now champion, just as I predicted. What say you, sir?
Here's the thing. Now, your prediction was for Saudi Arabia 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Not for Chicago this past Monday. So right there, you didn't nail anything because you.
But don't you find it interesting that the scenario I put forth is exactly what played out on Raw, except different people.
And
Gunther took out Cody. What are we going to do? Oh, we got Punk. Punk can challenge for the belt. Sammy with the belt.
Doesn't mean that you nailed it because it's different people, a different time, and a different place. Those other things are kind of important. They really are.
Take that apology.
You can. You're going to be waiting a long ass time because it ain't coming because you didn't nail it.
I take COD, by the way.
Swear, don't start off like this. Start off like this. All right, let's have a nice civil recording tonight.
I love how he says that and then grabs his beer. It's like Adam Pearce on Monday Night Raw. I swear to God, the guy who's going to blow a blood vessel. It was hysterical. I can't find anyone. It's like, are you kidding me? The entire roster, you can't find someone. You're telling me Otis wouldn't want to challenge for the World Championship. Come on.
Well, I mean, there's certain qualifications, apparently.
Apparently so.
But no, that was a good match. I listened to the Jim Cornette bit when he was talking about it, and I kind of agree with him. Like, They did it right. They didn't make the ref look like an idiot. They had a good
Nope.
match. They could work and all of those things. And yeah, it worked. The post match reaction by Sami Zayn was good.
Yeah.
The social media reaction. I actually got a chance to watch a bit of SmackDown. I didn't watch it all quite yet. The weekend has kind of gotten away from me. But I made a point to watch SmackDown a bit, and we had Punk, coming out to SmackDown. I love how he kind of addressed a couple of things. Like he addressed, because there was someone actually, and I think he specifically did this because of what Cornette said, which would be hilarious if he did, because we know that he does listen to Jim sometimes. Like either someone points it out to him or whatever.
Yep.
But one of the things that Cornette and Brian Last were talking about was like he shows up in his gear outside the door, and they're like, "What was he doing? Getting dressed in the car and this and that and the other." And Punk on SmackDown was like, I got the call from Nick Aldis. I got my gear on at home, kissed my wife, drove over here, and drove over in my gear and showed up at the door and all. I'm like, he's explaining it like he's refuting Cornette. Like, this is wonderful.
Logic. I love how and I think after he won, I think it was after he won, or maybe it was in the middle of the match. He does a quick look into the camera and says, "Honey, I'll be home in 20." I was like,
I missed that.
That was hysterical. "I'll be home in 20."
And then, of course, we get Cody coming out because he had named a bunch of other people that, as far as challengers.
Yes. And
was obviously not naming Cody. So Cody comes out, and Cody does the whole thing of "how's your eye" and this and that and the other, and kind of the whole back and forth of, the last time that we did this, I was the one with the eye, the black eye, and I was the one with the championship and all this stuff, and kind of dancing around about a rematch. And Punk steps right up to him, and because Cody's like, you just said when, say when, and Punk just jumps right in his face like, when.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, wow, it's amazing what it's like actually having like people who can kind of work the mic and work a situation, and who are also, I don't know, showing up to shows and willing to wrestle on the shows. That is one of the reasons why I was most excited to have Punk back as champ, is because he will actually wrestle for the championship on a weekly TV show.
Yeah.
Unlike the jabroni who's holding the other belt, who we're lucky to see him wrestle like once every other month, it seems. I think it's, and I think it's interesting. It'll be interesting where they go from here. Because obviously I think Sammy is still in the mix. We've got the, what is it? Is it Gunther and Sammy versus Cody and Punk at Saturday Night's Main Event? Was that the match?
Oh, is that what they did? Okay.
I think so. Okay. And then of course we have Cody and Punk at SummerSlam. I mean, as long as they're kind of keeping this dance going with the four of them, like, I find that interesting.
Yeah.
Because again, like, you can work this from a lot of different angles. All four of these people can work. You can have good interactions and good matches and good shenanigans with all four of them. So it creates some very interesting possibilities. And it kind of depends on where you want to go from here. Like, I know that a lot of people were pissed off that Sammy only had the belt for 9 days. Here's the thing, folks. Like, Mick Foley only had the belt for what? A week, 2 weeks when he first won it? Like, he lost it pretty quickly. Nobody remember that. They remember him winning the championship. It's kind of the same with Sami Zayn. Like, people are not going to necessarily focus in on the 9 days after this. They're going to, Sami Zayn won the world championship after all these years. That's what they're going to focus on. And what's also funny is how the internet wrestling community can be like, I want the Attitude Era back. I want this and that. And then you do something very Attitude Era-like, where we kind of hotshot the belt around a bit and you have a short title stint, and everybody goes nuts. Like, well, I thought you wanted the Attitude. Is it you just want boobs and catchphrases? Is that what you wanted back? Like, is that all we're talking about, or do you actually want what the mechanics and the wrestling part of it was? So I think it's interesting. It makes sense because you really needed something on SmackDown. SmackDown was not doing well. It was not a great show. Watching the show this past week, the opening segment with Cody and Punk, great. I think the next segment out of that was we had Finn Balor and Tama Tonga. That match was friggin' great. Like, I was very impressed with that. I was like, okay, well, let's just have this every week. Like, this is great. I forget who was on after that, but that was a decent match too. And that's about as far as I got on Friday night. But I mean, they needed something on SmackDown.
Yeah,
they needed something. So Punk being there, he's going to draw the viewers, he's going to draw the fans, he's going to draw the gates. Like, it's the right move for business, and it works. So we get Summer of Punk too.
There you go. And then, with Sammy,
and you were wrong.
What?
And you were wrong.
I was right. I called this entire scenario. It was just 2 weeks misplaced
in the different plays with different people.
I think
that is not calling the whole scenario, sir. That's not.
I did. Someone got taken out. Someone got taken out. Punk got brought in. He challenged. He was victorious, and now we have. And what was the end result? Rhodes versus Punk for the title at SummerSlam. What's the main event? Rhodes versus Punk for the title at SummerSlam. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Donations can be sent to Free Range Idiocy by way of the man they call Tim. I just want, I just want to, if you need me to predict anything with wrestling, just come my way. I got it knocked. Uncle Todd, how you doing over there? He looks like he's zenning out. And by the way, I want to say I have no issue with I have no issue with Sami Zayn holding the belt for 9 days. I think they, there was something accomplished with him winning, giving him his flowers in a way. But at the end of the day, Punk is a money draw for them. I'm not saying Zayn isn't, but I don't think Zayn is going to drive the same business that Punk is going to drive. And so I think it makes sense to put the belt on him. He now, and from what I understand, again, not to spoil things, but from what I understand, this is going to be a lengthy title reign. So I think he's now going to have a program with Cody that is going to span some time. There has been some, question around why did they not say this until WrestleMania, but I also think they were always planning on this for SummerSlam, and I don't know if this would then go to the next WrestleMania or not. We will see.
Well, Punk even referenced that in his promo talking with Cody. Like, I always thought this was going to happen at a Mania.
Yeah. Yep.
And then another thing that happened where Punk was backstage and was there with Gargano and what's his girlfriend's name?
His wife?
Candice
LeRae.
Okay, so they were there, and apparently Punk was just like, you need to, he's like, he's like, Johnny Wrestling, that's what I remember. He's like, you got to, whatever you're doing, you got to go back to that, because this, whatever this is, ain't working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's just referencing all the things that wrestling fans are kind of like not happy about. Cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. Where's the understanding that this is a lengthy title reign coming from?
Well, I think there's going to be more to this story. I don't know if this is going to go down a road where Punk is the catalyst for Rhodes' potential heel turn. There's been some teasing of Cody hooking up with Heyman.
Really?
Yeah, there were a couple of occasions since WrestleMania where their paths have crossed, and Cody has kind of openly wondered, could he be a Paul Heyman guy, sort of thing. It also puts, with Punk holding the title, it now puts Cody in a different light, because Cody's always had the championship for the last several years, and so now there's something different to be done with him. There's different feuds for him to have. And, a program with Punk, I think, would be really good. I think it'll be interesting to see if, Punk's tell me when I'm telling lies sort of approach, it proves to be too much for him and he just kind of snaps on him. Like it's one of those cases where, Cody doesn't want to face the truth. And so he decides to go a different route, and the crowd turns on him. Because he's so obsessed with holding the championship. That's like that's what defines him. And so I'm kind of wondering, where they go with it. So I think for SummerSlam, I think Punk's going to retain, but I don't know, kind of coming out of it, what that story continues to be. If it's, a further de-evolution of Cody and his as he kind of goes to the dark side after holding the title for quite some time, and is consumed by the idea that his and Punk, talked about that after the night after WrestleMania, about how woven, he has become into being champion. Like, yes, there was the story, but now, who is Cody Rhodes without the belt,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they're going to explore that, and I think they're going to do amazing business with that. I think the two of them will have an amazing program that way. So I'm kind of curious where it all goes, but I think it would be good for Punk, because again, he's a, I don't mean to use the term money draw, but like, people are interested in him when he is champion, and when he is that fighting champion. He is that sort of Terry Funk, middle-aged and crazy right now. And he, and some of the challengers he named off, like, I love that he named off Royce Keys, because I think he and Royce Keys could have a great program.
It could, but I mean, that one kind of came out of nowhere there. I was like,
but it's not unlike when he started on Collision in AEW, and he had Ricky Saints, and he had like a bunch of
it makes sense of
like
him
up and coming talent that he wanted to work with.
It just made sense. It was like he's naming like this guy and that guy, and you're like, okay, main eventer, Royce Keys. I'm like, did I just like black out for a minute and he missed a couple? Like, it seemed like there should have been a transition, couple names between there. Like,
hey,
should have been a downshifting of names,
but even just doing that raises Royce Keys' stock in the eyes of a lot of people, because it's like, if Punk views him as a challenger, okay, this guy must be more than what we've seen.
Well, and that was the other thing that I saw on SmackDown, was the Jimmy Uso Royce Keys interaction and impromptu match, and not horrible. I mean, it wasn't fantastic, but it was pretty good. So that was interesting. But I mean, I could see it.
And there's something going on with Royce Keys and Jacob Fatu, like they have some past or something where they're tight or something like that.
Yeah, they've been tight for like the past decade and a half, and now it's like Royce Keys is somehow aligned with Solo, and Solo needs to show up on Raw because Roman wants him back in the family and all this stuff. And Jacob did a number on him on Friday night. So interesting.
Jacob did a number on who?
On Solo.
On Solo, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting for Monday. But yeah, I mean, I will say, like, just from what I saw on SmackDown, like it was probably like the first hour-ish that I watched. Definitely a different show than what I'd seen the last couple times I checked it out.
Yeah.
So whatever they're doing, it seems like, okay, this could be a pretty interesting show to watch if they continue at this level.
Yeah. And before we move on to the next story, last thing on Sami Zayn is I do love, though, how he is playing, his post-match promo he does, where he has the breakdown and everything. It is masterful showmanship by Sami, where he is tugging at your heartstrings as you get why he's feeling frustration and feeling what he's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you go back and you see his interactions on Raw, with Adam Pearce, and the way that, because Cody was taken out, he's just like, well, I'm just going to go on my merit. Like there's something there's an underlying heelish sort of thing going on with him that he's kind of not suppressing, but he's, in his journey to be the last real good guy, he is being a good guy, but he's also being very smarmy about it, and this whole idea of, why do I as a champion have to defend my belt tonight? My challenger is injured. That is the antithesis to the fighting champion, who's like, all right, this guy's down, bring on the next. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there's two different schools of thought there. And so you feel sorry for Sami, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you wanted to be champion, and this is part of the gig. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it sucks for Cody that he got injured, but you need to be at the ready to go and defend your belt and not piss and moan about it. So, there's that piece of it too. So it's interesting that and of course now it seems like he's going in more of a heel route, because now he's teaming up with Gunther for Saturday night's main event. And so we will see. This will be interesting.
I think the issue is that there's a lot of things on a slow simmer.
Yeah. In
WWE, my issue is it seems like there's way more things on simmer and simmering for far too long, instead of like bringing a couple of them, bringing one or two to a boil every so often. Like, it feels like it takes forever for some of these to get to a boil, and that we have a lot of things simmering simultaneously. And it's like, okay, well, nothing really seems to be happening. Like we've been talking about the Cody heel turn now for how long? We've been talking about all these different things. It's like, oh my gosh, can we just like have one thing happen? Pretty please. So that'd be nice. But yeah.
But the article I want to switch into that is relevant to this, and I thought you'd appreciate this. This is from CageSideSeats.com. One of their writers, staff writers. It's hard times for WWE with SummerSlam. So apparently, I'm sorry.
Who's the staff writer?
M. Gomez. I don't know what his whole name is. Hold on. It just says M. Gomez. I don't know what his full name is. Oh, good God, the bloodhound is on it.
AI.
Oh, stop it. Gomez has been around for a while. Don't be like that with Gomez-y.
So is AI.
Anywho, the point of this is not about...
You have proof of life from M. Gomez? Maybe he's been in the hospital for the past month.
I don't know. Do we have proof of life for some other people?
Apparently we do. Apparently there was a photo released and it actually had a newspaper in it. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is just getting too fracking weird now.
Okay. Anyways, the point of the article is that WWE's slow ticket sales for this year's two-night SummerSlam have been a problem. They have sold, up to this point, fewer than 50,000 tickets have been distributed so far, with just over 22,000 tickets out for Saturday, August 1st, and more than 23,000 for Sunday, August 2nd. Let's see. The event takes place at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, which has a seating capacity of 66,000.
It's a big joint. So what is Mr. Gomez's premise of why that might be?
So let's see. Well, he doesn't have a premise for why this might be, but he mentioned there was a article that came after this one talking about that the reason WWE may have fast-tracked announcing Cody and CM Punk was to get that match out there to try to sell more tickets. The other thing that WWE is doing is they are offering a 30% discount on tickets for next weekend Saturday's main event. Excuse me, for those on its Club WWE waitlist. By the way, for Saturday's main event, are we good with the Free Range EDC name getting on the mat for the event in Madison Square Garden? Are we going to have our brand on that mat, or what?
By some chance?
Probably somewhere in the order of the Crown Jewel Championship. So we'll have to make a choice between the body shield or the.
I'll tell you what,
or the name on the mat.
Why don't you go ahead and spring for that? I'll owe you.
Oh, jeez, you got to be kidding me. Let's see.
I'm a little short this week.
Yeah, you are. Okay. What does it say here? The company. So he's just saying, given that they're doing the 30% discount for those on the Club WWE waitlist, the company may want to take a similar approach if it hopes to appeal to the common man for SummerSlam. By the way, in this article is a link to Dusty Rhodes' theme song. So if you ever want to listen to America Dream.
All right.
Gosh, so good. But these are hard times, Daddy, for WWE because they are hurting in the ticket department.
Well, here's the deal. So cheapest tickets for one night and night one, night two of SummerSlam without fees, $76 per night. The cheapest combo ticket allowing admission for both nights is $152. I'm guessing also without fees. Now, of course, that is like the upper reaches of the upper deck where you might as well be sitting at home and watching this. I would wager that if you wanted tickets comparable to where we were, just in terms of like altitude, I'm going to guess those tickets are probably about $1,000 each. You know what? I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see. So lower bowl. Oh wait, actually, if you're willing to be in corner lower bowl, I got $198.40 per seat.
How much?
You know what? $198.
Okay.
Let's see if we get down a little closer here. Okay, so $257.90 for, I think, what is this? The 10th row in section 114. If we want to get a little bit closer to the action, Here we go. If you want to be third row, section V4, which, oh my God, how do you fracking like zoom out here? Anyways, so this would be, no, I don't want to, what is going on here? Here we go. Okay. So if you want to be even like kind of almost dead center on the ring, you're looking at like $1,800.
Yeah.
For one night, one seat.
Yep.
I think that is probably much more of a reason for that, along with the fact that you're having to travel and all that stuff. And, up until now, because I mean, the fact is, like, the card is not shaping up that badly. I mean, you already have Oba Brock, which granted that feud has taken some hits and does not exactly have the shine it did before.
Yep.
You got Seth and Roman, and now you've got Cody and Punk. So I mean, now you've got some marquee matches here, but still, like, $1,700 for a decent seat. And the fact is, like, even though that's lower bowl, fourth row, that still puts you, 75, 80 yards away from the ring.
Yep.
Like, that's a lot of money to be that far away. I didn't even look at what to be on the floor. I can't even imagine. It's probably like $3-4 grand.
Oh, sure.
I wonder why you're having trouble selling these tickets. Gee.
Because, baby, the common man cannot afford such things.
No, no one can.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like, maybe, no, it's ridiculous.
It is. All right, moving right along from hard times.
That being said, I have thought about looking at what the tickets are for Manchester, New Hampshire, because they do have a show down there on their summer tour.
Nice.
So I thought about that, but it's probably still going to be ridiculous.
By the way, since I'll be in Dallas tomorrow night, so will Raw, and if I'm catching a flight down there, I wonder if one Charles Montgomery Punk might be flying a morning flight down there. We will see.
He probably would be. That would be pretty cool. Also, I mean, why aren't you going to try and get tickets for that?
Because it's just I did not plan accordingly, and I will most likely have some after work dinner plans with colleagues. So,
but even so, like, it's
got to press the flesh. You know what I mean?
One ticket, like, you could probably get one odd ticket, like, day of,
maybe,
for a deal. I'm just saying.
All right.
Oh, and actually, the other reason that I kind of want to go to a house show, WWE house show. So apparently, the other day, this has been video in a couple places. At one of the house shows, Punk came out with Charlotte Flair's robe. Which I'm like, this is the stuff that I want to see.
So you're hoping for some B-reel sort of stuff, is what you're saying?
Like I want to see
some
like
B-side sort of activity.
And like, I guess there's
Punk
another
running down in his like shower towel to come in and like count the pin or something like that.
Well, and the other thing, apparently, there was a tag match and Punk was in the ring, but Otis and LA Knight did like the worm on somebody, and Punk is just leaning against the ropes laughing. Like, he can't even try and maintain a veneer of seriousness. I'm like, that's the stuff I kind of want to see. Like, the shows are great and everything, but just seeing goofy stuff to me is kind of almost worth the drive and worth the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to investigate.
All right, you do that.
Anyways, what are we on to next?
So from our friends and I would say tentpole foundational part of the portfolio, Collider.com. Yes. Marvel officially brings back Moon Knight character after 4 years in in basically some Disney content that will be coming out. X-Men 97, which I have not watched, is an animated series, but apparently they have a season 2 that is coming. Season 1 apparently was very well received. Mm-hmm. It's been a 2-year hiatus, and the second season is highly anticipated. But apparently during I think I don't know where this was announced exactly, but it sounds like in season 2 there's going to be an episode called The Rise of Apocalypse Part 2. One of the statues that are resurrected at the end of the episode is Noshu, who is the moon god who gave Moon Knight his powers and used him as an emissary for a brutal brand of justice. And so it sounds like they are going to be bringing Moon Knight into this animated series, which is the first we've heard of him since the show. So
about friggin' time. Moon Knight was a badass character. This is where, and unfortunately, this is where the long production time for these shows and movies and having stuff scheduled out so far and like kind of like, oh, well, we got to do this and this and this. When you have stuff like Moon Knight or Shang-Chi that are like people dig, now it's like, oh crap, now we have to all our, we hadn't planned on using them in anything. Like I don't understand how you don't try and sandwich those characters in when you realize like, oh, these resonate with people. Like, how are we just still sitting here with no Moon Knight? How are we still sitting here without even like a guest appearance by Shang-Chi? Like, how? Yeah. How is this happening? I don't know.
And again, I don't know if I'm letting my bias or my bad memory or whatever it is, but in the earlier part of this decade, I felt the rhythm. And again, I know that the streaming services have been facing the reality of the economics behind what they do. But there was something about that period from 21 to 23 where they just kept releasing series after series after series. And that rhythm kept me engaged. And then while I know it kind of lent itself to the fatigue that everyone was feeling, I also feel like when they started to pull back from that, my attention, and again, I'm a 51-year-old man or 50-year-old man who is not the target demo. I'm sure younger folk are watching this maybe way more consistently than I am. But there is something about when they did that where I pulled back and I'm just like, okay, this is not must-see watching for me anymore. On top of that, we came out of the pandemic where we weren't, home as much. Life started up again, where we had social lives and doing things. And that also impacted
other stuff to do besides TV and stare at each other. And
there is?
And wipe everything down with disinfectant.
Oh, my God. So, I just... Unfortunately, I think it's because I remember Moon Knight, and I remember like that series. Not only was it a great, I thought it was a very interesting take on a character that I was not familiar with, but they did such a great job in the mental health realm as well, and how they portrayed that in the series. And Oscar Isaacs and Ethan Hawke, and I mean just everyone in that show did an amazing job. And then poof, nothing. Yeah. And it's the same thing with Shang-Chi. That movie was widely regarded as great, and all of a sudden, poof, and then he was gone.
Yeah.
It's like Kaiser Soze, So it's unfortunate.
I was wondering if you're going to reference that because I'm like,
I had one more. I had one more to.
Is he like
it
going back to the trick bag on that one?
Oh,
nice. I like it.
Hells yeah!
Great flick. Utter garbage human beings involved in it as far as the director and and one of the leads, but. Still a fantastic movie, a fantastically constructed fable in a way. Like it really is. It's like a fable, tall tale come to life.
It is.
Chaz Palminteri in that is so great too. I love this character. Oh my gosh, so good.
Sorry, give me one moment.
And actually, who was the guy whose office he takes? Oh my god, I can't remember. He's another one of those guys who. Anyways, I'll have to look it up.
I don't remember.
I'm going to look it up. While you're doing what you're doing, I'm going to look this up because I want to know who that guy is. And then, of course, you have Pollock and oh my gosh, Benicio del Toro. There it is, Usual Suspects. Who was that dude? Let's see here. Gabriel Byrne was great.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I just got to check something.
Mm-hmm. Dan Hedaya.
Sorry, I apologize. I thought I had to follow up on something for work. Dan Hedaya, is that what you said?
Yes. Who
is Dan Hedaya? Let me check him out.
So he's that guy who always kind of plays like the nervous, twitchy, but somewhat sleazy, even in a heroic way, kind of guy. But then also a guy who
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, he played Doogie Howser's dad, I think.
Really?
No, I'm sorry, not his dad, his best friend's dad.
Okay.
His friend Max. Yep.
However, if you scroll across here, Clark Gregg.
Ah.
He of oh my gosh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
I can't Coulson. Which I was like, he was in this. Anyways.
Very cool.
And then of course we have the Pete Postlethwaite as Kobayashi. Oh my gosh, so
he was great.
I just won't mention the top build guy because I don't want to. But yeah, where were we going with this? Oh,
I think what we were saying was we got onto The Usual Suspects because I was using the end of the movie where what's his name? I can't.
Verbal
Virgil what?
Verbal Kint.
Verbal.
Yeah,
was saying
they're like, yo, they call me Verbal because I talk a lot, and he's like, yeah, I was just about to tell you to shut the F up.
But at the end, when he talks about Kaiser Soze, and he's like, poof, and then he's gone. But that to me is, I think what is plaguing Marvel right now is because they're being so deliberate in spacing everything out to such a degree that I think it has impacted how people follow it, and I think it's also caused folks to not invest as much in it. I know, my eldest really enjoyed Moon Knight. Was actually someone who followed the comic, got kind of immersed in the comic and the character and everything and really enjoyed it, thought the show was great. And yeah, it was just kind of like, not that it's like, a constant question for them, but it's just one of those things of, what are they doing with this character now? It's like, it's not appearing in anything. And of course they're doing less content now. So there's less opportunity to do crossovers and bring people in and so forth. So I don't know. It's hard because on the one hand, I understand the fatigue part, but on the other, I really do feel, as difficult as I know the COVID period was for folks, I do feel like from a streaming perspective, that was kind of like a golden era. Like we got a lot of really good content back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And it helped kind of feed the beast a little bit in terms of the next round of content for myself with this franchise. And then when they pulled back, when economics started to, rear its ugly head with all this, now it's starting to impact, I feel, the way that people engage with it, because it's, with all the things you choose from in terms of investing your time, as a great example, right? We're in the middle of a three episode arc with Free Range Idiocy Friday with Ted Lasso. So I'm investing my time in rewatching Ted Lasso. I'm not watching, I'm falling behind. I'm, further behind with Raw now because I just don't watch it on Monday nights, religiously. There's just only so much time you have, and so.
I mean, unless you really want to be online 24/7 and engage with your television. And the funny thing is, like right now, I probably watch more TV than I have since the pandemic, and especially during the pandemic. That was more TV than I'd watched in a decade.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have cable for the longest time. And this is pre-streaming. Like we just didn't have it. I would watch DVDs and stuff like that, and we just didn't, because we were busy enough. We just didn't have time for it. It didn't make sense. And even now, like I'm still watching a decent amount of TV, like not, 6 hours a day or anything, but it's like when I do, I'm kind of being a little choosy. Like I'm not diving into some of the new stuff. I'm kind of watching Tulsa King here and there, but it's not a show that I'm going to watch with my wife because that's just not her thing. So I kind of watch that at my own pace. It's kind of finding the things that work for us, and then it's kind of going to the stuff that we know is good, as opposed to like, let's try this new show, or let's try this. I don't know, maybe that's just a function of getting older. I don't know.
We old wigs.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, from Moon Knight, we switch now. Last two are Ted Lasso oriented articles, because part of the reason we're doing this 3-episode arc is we are preparing ourselves for what will be the debut of season 4 in early August. There it is. Oh, the fingers. My hand keeps cramping like this. Good old Triple H. But Hannah Waddington, who is, Hannah Waddingham,
Yes.
who plays Rebecca in the series, promises in an interview with, this is, I think, CanadianSportsYahoo.com, a wonderful season for the Lady Greyhounds as Jason Sudeikis brings the world of AFC Richmond back for season 4. And so she has, I'm just looking for some quotes from her, but the introduction of the Lady Greyhounds. So we are, actually, one moment. She shared her excitement regarding the direction of the new series. It's going to be wonderful. The writing just continues to excel like it always has. It's going to be a wonderful season. And the article goes on to talk about how, yes, this, as many fans who have, followed along with the news over the last few months, that this, at the end of season 3, Keely, the character of Keely Jones, presents Rebecca with a proposal for an AFC Richmond women's team. And it looks like that is now going to happen. And in some way, shape, or form, Ted is going to return to Richmond, taking on his biggest challenge yet, coaching a second division women's football team. And throughout the course of the season, Ted and the team learn to leap before they look, taking chances they never thought they would. And so there are going to be some returning regulars to this. Brent Goldstein as Roy Kent, Brendan Hunt as Coach Beard, Jeremy Swift as Higgins will be back. And then there will be some new faces, which will be some of the ladies who play the Lady Greyhounds. The official season 4 premiere will be August 5th, 2026 on Apple TV Plus. And anything else? That was it. So thoughts, sir, on the Lady Greyhounds and Hannah Waddingham's promise that this will be a wonderful season.
If Hannah Waddingham says it, then I'm going to believe her, because she kind of terrifies me. No.
You don't mess with the boss ass bitch.
No, you don't. I looked it up because I was like, I know that she's tall, but how tall is she? Hannah Waddingham is 5'11", dude.
That's my height, which means everyone she's acting with in that show must be that much smaller. Or the heel she's wearing, prop her up that much more. But.
Well, the heels, I mean, and that is actually the thing I do appreciate about that character, is that character does not, and it feels like it's a bit of a reflection of who she is as well, that she does not shy away from who she is.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very tall and I'm going to wear 6-inch heels. I don't care that I'm towering over you whatsoever. Yep. And I love how she's been very open about, body image and those things, and about how she's just like, no, I'm not going to sit around and eat celery. I don't care. Like all this stuff. I'm like, it's so awesome, because I appreciate that attitude, because I have known women who have been in that boat where they feel like, oh, I'm too tall, or I'm this, or I'm that. And it's always like, be yourself. Like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And, seeing someone like that just kind of, and especially where there was an interview where a interviewer read where she talked about, like, one of her early acting teachers said, oh, well, Hannah will probably never work in television because, her face looks like she had a stroke or something. And she's like, oh, the hell I won't. And I'm like, how in the world can people, one, be that mean, and two, like, just decide to pigeonhole someone like that? Like, that's so stupid. And it makes me all that much more, happy for her success. So, but if Rebecca says that it's going to be a wonderful season, I believe her. Of course, they're being paid to say this. So, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful for this season, because it seems like there is a lot of return of the writing staff. And the creative people behind the show. And I mean, granted, it was a very well acted, very well cast show and all that, but you really need to have those people starting the process and presenting something for those actors to work with. So as starting off with, those same folks, I feel good about that. Also, like, if you have those same people who are out finding people to fit these characters, like, they did such a great job in casting that, those first 3 seasons. I have a fairly high degree of faith in casting season 4, even though you're really bringing in a ton of new characters. I'd be very surprised if this is a stinker,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm all in. I'm all in. I was all in before, but I go all in again.
There
which
it is.
Basically means that I borrowed money from you to go all in again.
Well, you owe me some money because of my my great prediction. COD, sir. I accept COD. So,
like I said, you have to front me the money for what else were we going in on here? Were we getting the tickets or I forget?
I wasn't getting any tickets. The belt? Are you thinking about the belt or something? Or
maybe, I don't know. Anyways,
all right, and then our last Ted Lasso. Ted,
hell with it.
Our last Ted Lasso story is the stars of Ted Lasso bring World Cup fever to Kansas City as Argentina faces Switzerland. I believe Argentina defeated Switzerland last night. But nonetheless, the characters from that show, Jason Sudeikis, Brendan Hunt, and a few others, apparently were hosting a watch party at CBKC Stadium near downtown Kansas City on basically last night, where Argentina played the upstart Switzerland team at Arrowhead Stadium in their quest for back-to-back championships. And apparently in this article, they had mentioned that the show has apparently filmed, I think, a fair amount of content from Kansas City as well. So I'd be kind of interested to see what that is when we get to season 4. But it was basically the article just has some quotes from Sudeikis and Brendan Hunt talking about, from 94 when the U.S. hosted the World Cup and how the interest in the game then is very different from now. Where now there's much more, it's much more commonplace, more, I don't want to say accepted, but just people are into it a bit more. And I've seen it too. I've seen it with colleagues. I've seen it, in the bars around Chicago and stuff like that. Like people are, congregating en masse, especially when the U.S. team was still in it, but still now as well. Like there's a lot of interest in all countries who are playing in this tournament. And so it was just kind of, basically, I love the end of the article where it says the fact that Argentina and Switzerland were playing a World Cup quarterfinal on Saturday night in Kansas City with question marks, and then Brendan Hunt says, "Luck of the draw," with a wry bearded smile. The actual show is about to come out after the World Cup. I think someone manipulated that. Might have been a corporate choice. So, but it is true. I mean, it is kind of very, very interesting timing that, and again, maybe that timing was somewhat influenced by them planning and filming when they did and premiering it. Who knows? But yes, we bid adieu to Ted Lasso on May 31st, 2023, and season 4 will begin here on August 5th, as I mentioned. So, thoughts, sir, on some of the folks from the show doing a little promotional work around the World Cup? I think it makes sense and is not a surprise.
Well, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Swift, who in the photos that I've seen was wearing a very nice linen suit number with a black T-shirt with none other than Bootsy Collins featured on it. So I'm like,
is this Jeremy Swift with the Fu Manchu?
Yes. Yeah. Higgins.
No, I'm asking, like, did he have the Fu Manchu going too?
No, I think he was clean shaven.
Okay. All right.
And
that's
then
very cool.
Nice.
Nice.
There was Hunt, and the photos that I saw then had Juno Temple, Keely Jones, and another actress who no one seems to know who it is. So I'm guessing it's like maybe the Jamie Tart or Roy Kent of the new Lady Greyhounds.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I saw those photos and I'm like, this might settle for realsies, like the debate that me and my wife have been having, because if you look at season 1 Keely Jones, her wardrobe, while a little eccentric, is still fairly normal. Season 2 and season 3 is when her wardrobe just goes full tilt loco. I was and my wife is always like, I don't know who's doing the styling for her and this and that. And I'm like, I wonder if it's somewhat like the Juno Temple picking like what she thinks Keely would wear. And seeing her outfit in this, I'm like, I think that's it. I think Juno Temple has a big influence on what Keely Jones, style is, because she was wearing like these platform sandals, and I'm like this. I think it was like a pink like satin skirt sort of thing. I just saw it and I'm like, yep, that's Keely. That is okay. So I think I have an answer here. I need to show this to my wife because I think we've settled the debate. Like,
yeah,
I think Juno is steering the ship on this one.
Yeah.
the other thing I think is funny is like, yeah, it has changed a lot, because I do remember vaguely the U.S. hosting the World Cup back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sort of like, meh, because I mean, I think that was when Major League Soccer first kind of starting to get going in the U.S., and there's been many fits and starts about professional soccer in the U.S. Now you look at it, like there is a not only a Major League Soccer promotion in the United States, Portland, Maine has their own minor league soccer team that regularly sells out and that has a very passionate fan base. They're called the Hearts of Pine, and they do big business, dude. Like, it is a big deal. And this is already a town that has the Red Sox AA minor league affiliate. They have the Boston Celtics developmental league team. They have I can't remember. I think the Mariners are actually the affiliate for the Boston Bruins, like not the AHL, but ECHL. So I mean, Portland, Maine is a fairly big time minor league sports town, and then to add this in, and they fit right in. People are all about them, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, a much higher visibility, and I think almost even over the last couple of years, it's grown. Since Ted Lasso, we got season 3. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of all cresting at the right moment, So very interested to see how that plays into things.
Indeed. Well, that wraps up our Week in Geek content. That, my friends, is your Week in Geek.
Well, what do you got for And Another Thing? A recommendation for our viewers and listeners, sir?
I was this week listening a little bit to a longtime album from Metallica going back to '97 called Reload.
No, that's not. That couldn't have been that long ago. That was like 5 years ago, right?
It feels like 5 years ago, but sir, you might want to hold on to your shorts on this one. It's almost 30 years, my friend. Almost 30.
No,
give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Yeah,
I don't believe it. It's not. It's not.
And which, by the way, I think the song is called Dance with the Devil, but it is a song that AEW recently used. There was a big, massive tag match with Jericho and the Young Bucks and the Hurt Syndicate and Kenny Omega, and they used that as kind of their intro for their team for this match. And it was really, like, for the most part, it was pretty serious. It was really well done. But there was a bit with Kenny Omega where he's smoking a cigar and then he starts like coughing and like everyone's just like, oh dude, come on. I mean, it was hysterical.
I remember.
It was so
that.
good.
Yeah. Wasn't that like the Stampede match? Wasn't that?
I think it was the Stampede match. Yeah. I mean, like everything with the Hurt Syndicate, like it was great to hear. And the reel that I saw of this on Instagram was with the crowd. And so when they showed like Lashley and they showed MVP and they showed Benjamin, like everyone's going nuts. And even with the Young Bucks, like everyone's going. I say that because last time I saw like the Bucks were heels. I think they're baby faces now. But yeah, the thing with Omega just cracked me up because like everyone had a look on their face like, oh dude, you're so uncool. But this one is a if you're unfamiliar with Metallica, this is not a bad album to get yourself familiarized, as well as their body of work. They have many more albums going back into the 80s and then of course forward into the 2000s. So this is just something I happen to be listening to on the train and enjoying, and would very much recommend. Before we switch to your end, another thing, one thing I did want to mention is a little bit of history going back to last week, which is, I believe it has been since '97 that it was the first time both the WWE and the secondary promotion of wrestling had their world champion change hands. So we had AEW, Kenny Omega defeated MJF for the world championship. Right, yeah. And of course we had Punk defeat Sami Zayn. And when I think it was 97, it was, I think it was Hogan winning the belt or losing the belt. I forget which way it went. And then on the WWE side, I think it was Austin or Rock winning the belt or something.
Wouldn't it have been Hogan winning, because didn't we also hit like the 30-year mark of the?
I think so. Yeah.
NWO.
You're probably right.
It might have been losing, because that would mean it was 96. So, anyways, but yeah, I remember seeing something like that. That's pretty cool. The symmetry there.
just a little symmetry to bring out for the professional wrestling fans. All right, sir, what is your and another thing?
And actually, wouldn't have WCW have been the primary? Weren't they winning the Monday Night Wars at that point?
Well, the way the article worded it, it was they said the primary and secondary. So they didn't name WWE as the primary.
Gotcha.
They just said the primary and secondary promotions in wrestling had their world champions change hands on the same week. So
makes sense. All right.
Interesting bit of trivia and history.
Indeed. My and another thing is going to be the B1M YouTube channel. If you're interested in construction or just architecture, or you're a dork like me and this stuff fascinates you, this is a great channel. It's lots of, talking about tunnels and buildings and bridges and all of these things and like problems with stuff with said. And I don't understand most of it. But that is kind of the reason why it's kind of oddly interesting. It's almost like it's not necessarily competency porn, but it is like explanation porn of just like, and here's the problem with America's rail system and blah blah blah. And I'm just a sucker for stuff like that, especially if I'm like having lunch. Like 10-15 minutes while I'm eating a sandwich, like this is interesting to me, because then it can be like, oh, I feel like I actually learned something and was vaguely entertained, and I finished my sandwich and now I move on with my day. It's not a huge time commitment.
It's a quick hit. Yeah,
I'm not sure if they would appreciate my endorsement in that way, but it is interesting, so give it a shot. Give it a shot when you have a chance.
Nice.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for Week in Geek Wednesday. Thank you all for tuning in. We do so appreciate it. You can go to freerangeidiocy.com and you get all our episodes there, both our Wednesday and Friday shows. You can subscribe to the Podbean app or just download them one by one, however you'd like, a la carte, if you will. You can also, if you will, if you'd like, you can find us on the app of your choice, Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, many others. Search for Free Range Idiocy and you will find us. If you would like full video in HD, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@freerangeidiocy. You can also find us on the social medias at Free Range Idiocy on Instagram and Facebook as well. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, send those to Tim at Free Range Idiocy. And now my responsibilities for this show are done. It's now time to send it back to the man they call Tim. What do you got to say for yourself, sir?
To the interwebs, we say...
That was a deep inhale, sir. Like, I felt your...
Yes, suspect!
Sheesh.
We don't know what your reputation is in this town. Well, we kind of do. But after what you tried to pull today, you can bet we'll be looking into you. And to our listeners, we say good day, ladies and gentlemen. And until that day comes, keep it to the grindstone.
You're messing with my Zen thing, man.
Now get the hell out of here!